We are recording.
All right. Well, welcome to the 2023-2024 school year Indicator 8 Parent Involvement webinar. Our goal for today is to provide the why for Indicator 8. It is to review the requirements of Indicator 8, review the survey process and what data sources will be used to support the activity. We will review your next steps and provide some tips for success. And finally, provide some resources to assist you in completing the activity. So your indicator support team for this webinar includes Amy Betts, who is one of the Office of Exceptional Children's regional coordinators, Kalila O'Farrell-Bulware, one of the OEC IDEA consultants, Johanna Lynch, who is the OEC parent liaison, and myself, Sherry Vernelson. I'm the section chief for the sensory support and assistive technology section in the Office of Exceptional Children. And I think there may be one person who has their microphone on, so we'll get that turned off. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Johanna, and she is going to discuss the why we are here today.
Good afternoon, everybody. So the Office of Exceptional Children is required by the U.S. Department of Education to survey parents of children who receive special education services under IDEA, and the OEC must report on this in the annual state performance plan. The survey is a tool to collect feedback from parents on whether schools facilitated parent involvement as a means of improving results for children with disabilities. So the expected outcomes of Indicator 8 is to understand parent perceptions about their role in their child's education. We hope that the data shows that they feel like they play an integral part in conjunction with the school by being welcomed as partners in their child's education and that they are actively involved. Data from Indicator 8 provides districts with insights on parents' thoughts about their involvement. It helps identify strengths and areas for improvement related to parental involvement and helps districts determine a plan to better engage parents.
So let's now take a closer look at the requirements of Indicator 8. You'll learn that Indicator 8 is a results indicator, which measures parent perceptions of how their school facilitated their involvement as a means of improving services and results for their child with a disability. And the ultimate goal of the Indicator 8 survey is to improve services and outcomes for students with disabilities by facilitating parental involvement in meaningful ways. So Indicator 8 data results in telling us the percentage of parents who report that the school facilitated their involvement to improve services and outcomes for their child. So this indicator is reported in the format of met or did not meet. Now let's take a brief look at some of the state historical data. Based on the historical data, parents respond to the survey questions by selecting one of the options, including very strongly disagree, disagree, agree, strongly agree, or very strongly agree. And to calculate data on parental involvement, we use a percentage of parents' responses of strongly agree and very strongly agree for a majority of survey items, indicating their perception that schools facilitated their involvement. And here in the screenshot, you will see that our state target percentage has increased and will continue to increase each year. During the school year 2020-2021, 45% of parents who responded said they strongly agreed or very strongly agreed that the school facilitated their involvement. Therefore, we met our state target for that year. During the school year 2021-2022, we were just under meeting our state target. And in 2022-2023, we were able to meet our target again. So while the goal is to meet our state target each year, we do want to increase our total number of respondents each year. So now let's take a look at the response rate. While we met our target, you can see that our response rate has not been very strong. So our response rate goal for indicator 8 is 10%, but you'll see in the data, we've lagged behind that significantly, and we'd like to improve that moving forward. That response rate is important for our districts as well because it lets you know what parents are thinking. So for example, if you take a look at the school year 2022-2023, there was a sample of over 80,000 students, but the number of responses, it was under 4%. So what would the other 77,000 parents think about how their school is facilitating their involvement with their child's education? So these are some things to think about. Other questions, other critical questions to ask would be, does that response rate give an individual public school unit confidence that they are facilitating parent involvement effectively? And what are some things that can be done to improve that response rate? So these are some things to think about as we're looking at this data. Now let's take a look at the survey process. Each year, there are public school units that respond to that Indicator 8 survey every year. And those districts or those public school units include Wake County Schools, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools, Guilford County Schools, Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, and Cumberland County Schools, along with other selected public school units based on the 5-year sample cycle. So the sample includes all parents of children with disabilities ages 3 through 21 who were included in the most recent December child count for that sample year. So for this school year, 2023-2024, this year's samples collection will be based on the December 2023 child count. So public school units are responsible for disseminating the survey to parents. However, the Office of Exceptional Children provides resources to support in getting the word out. And we'll be sharing more details on that later in today's presentation. So now let's take a look at the data collection window for this school year. So another important piece of information about the data collection window is that for this school year, the survey will be open from April 1st through July 1st. And once you get access to the survey, you'll see that the survey is currently available in 11 languages. So parents have the ability or the option to select their survey language, which will be at the top right corner of the survey. If you are one of those previously mentioned public school units that completed the Indicator 8 survey last year, you may remember that there were 2 surveys, one survey for preschool age students and one survey for school age students. So this year, there will be one survey and parents will have the opportunity to select if they are completing the survey because they have a preschool age child or if they're completing the survey because they have a school age child. And the survey questions reflect the following key components, which include race, ethnicity, primary disability, partnership efforts and quality of services, IEP meeting process, parent support and training, and other, which asks about behavior, transition, and assessments. And there is an open text field that's available in the survey where parents can provide any additional information that they would like to provide. And please note that the survey, as I mentioned before, the survey is translated to multiple language, which the parent can select at the start of the survey. So now let's take a look at what data source you will use to distribute the survey information to the parents. And as I mentioned, this is based on the December child count. So how do you pull that information? You would query that data, you would query that information by running your child count report. And to do so, from the ECAT's main menu, you want to go to the reporting drop list and select standard reports. From the standard reports screen, you want to scroll down to the section where it is entitled scheduled reports. And in that section, you want to click the special ed tab. From the special ed tab, you will have access to click the child count link. Once you click the child count link, you will be directed to the child count report query screen. And from that child count report query screen, the first thing you want to do is change the data source option to OSEP Final Reporting Database. Once you select OSEP Final Reporting Database, this will allow you to view the certified child count data. Next, you want to select the appropriate count period, which will be December 2023. Then simply click the Generate button to generate the report. And to view your report, you would have to, well, one thing I do want to mention is, please note that the larger the report is, the longer it will take to generate. So you will receive an email when the report is ready. And to access the report that has been generated, once again, in ECATS, from the main menu, you want to go to your reporting drop list and click My Reports. From there, you'll be able to click and download the report that has been generated. And once you click to access that report, it's going to display in an Excel format. And once you access that report in Excel format, you want to get into the habit of creating column filters. So to create the column filters, you just follow these simple steps. First, you want to highlight the row with the column headers. And in this example, in this screenshot, you'll see that the row with the column headers is on row 6. Once you highlight that entire row with the column headers, you want to go to the Excel main menu and click the Data tab. Once you click the Data tab, you will then be able to click that filter icon. Once you click that filter icon, you will see that filters would now display on that entire row that you've highlighted. So you've created your column filters. And so this will allow you to filter the results. For example, you can filter the results by school age students, or you can filter the results by school age students. So each column of your report is now ready to be filtered based on your needs.
So we have a few suggestions to hopefully improve the response rate. We have some tips and suggestions. So as this is coming up, just make sure you have a game plan in place. Decide how the surveys will be delivered to parents and how your team can help parents remember that the survey is the parents' opportunity to contribute and ensure that their voice is heard. You can schedule up follow-up reminders and keep track of the responses in real time.
So you can see here, this is an example of the dashboard that you have access to. In the PowerPoint, there is a link to what we call the survey tracker. We used to have some test responses in here, but I've already deleted the responses. So if your county had a parent respond to the survey, then over in this count column on the right-hand side, you would see how many surveys from parents in your district have been submitted.
And so Oh, there we are. So we're just going to share some ideas from the field. Perquimans County reported that, they had multiple touch points with all of the parents. Including personal touch points where they reached out to all of the parents who were given the survey to remind them that this was an opportunity to complete the survey. And they also set up stations at events for PTA nights or any other event that was going on in school. This was Watauga County. They actually used their Power School to create a list of available emails for their parents with students who have IEPs, and then they sent 3 reminders to encourage the parents to complete the survey. They also noted that because they're a small district, they felt like it was an easier ask for their parents than a larger district. Ensure your messages all get to the parents and that they complete the survey. Giving parents options on how they can complete the survey will improve your response rate. So consider sending out email, mail in person, having a computer available at the school to ensure parents can easily access the survey. Post the information on your social media pages and at school. And if your district has a special education advisory council, ask them to promote the survey. As a reminder, the survey is available in multiple languages. And parents who have more than one child, they can actually fill out the survey more than once. So they can go in and do it for their one child and then go back and do it for another. Continuous improvement is something that we all strive for. This data set that you will receive will be an excellent way to determine where your district's strengths are, where you need to improve, and then make those improvements. And what a great opportunity to engage parents in the improvement process. The Office of Exceptional Children has developed some resources to support you during this process and for you to share with parents. So let's take a look at those. So for your reading enjoyment, we have linked the Indicator 8 sampling plan just in case you're interested. Additionally, all of the Indicator 8 resources to distribute to parents, as well as this webinar recording, will be posted to the Office of Exceptional Children website. The link is there. The Office of Exceptional Children has also created a parent-friendly flyer that you can send home, post in each building, email, or however you wish to utilize it. There's also a letter from our director, Dr. Carol Ann Hudgens, that can be distributed as you see fit. A Google Drive folder has been created with all these documents for you to access. They will also be available on the website. Thank you for helping us to collect this data that's so important. Any questions?
And before we stop the recording, I will just say again that we are your Indicator 8 support team and are happy to, take questions now as well as through email or a phone call. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us during this process. All right.
Hey, Sherry, it's